That's the train. At last. What's the time?
2 nearly. It's day.
Only 2 hours behind time, this one. God, look at me. Come up here on purpose to greet them at the station and wake up to find I've been asleep. This won't do at all, the pack. Why didn't you waken me?
Oh, I thought you'd gone. It's them. They're here.
No, they've got to get their luggage, find the tickets, be greeted by the station master. 5 years she's been away. Wonder what she looks like. She's a good woman, easygoing, no side. I remember when I was a boy, 15 maybe. My father ran that little grocer's in the village, and he'd punch me in the face with his fist, and my nose was bleeding. And we'd come up to this place for something. I can't remember what. He was drunk, I remember that. And she said, thin little, young little thing that she was, she said, "No need for tears, little peasant. It'll heal before your wedding day." And she washed the blood from my face right here in the nursery. And now here I am, a rich man in white waistcoat and yellow boots, but the son of a peasant still, with my pig snout in the teacup. This book put me to sleep. Couldn't understand the word.
Those dogs have howled all night. They know who's coming home.
Dogs? What's wrong with you, Dunyasha? You're all...
Look at my hands. I think I'm going to faint.
Look, come here. Look at you. You dress like a lady. You do your hair like one, too. You're much too refined, Dunyasha. We have to remember what we are.
The gardener sent them in. Says they're for the dining room. Here.
I'll have some cider while you're about it.
Very good, sir.
It's a morning. It's a frosty morning. 3 degrees below. And yet the cherry trees are all in bloom. I do not approbate this climate of ours. I do not uncooperative and untimely. That's what it is. Another thing, Alexander Leparkin, by way of a footnote. These boots. I bought them the day before yesterday, and they travel, I assure you, beyond the bounds of possibility. Would Greece help, do you think?
Oh, please go away, you bore me.
Every day I befall some new misery, but no longer do I grumble. I even smile at it sometimes. Well, I'll be off then. Now that's, if you'll excuse the language, exactly the sort of thing I had in mind. Where the clam for the storm. At least in my opinion.
If you promise you'll keep a secret, Mr. Leparkin. Yeppie Hoddoff has asked me to marry him. I really can't make up my mind what to do. I mean, he's quiet, really. But when he gets started, I mean, you can't make head or tail of it. I mean, it's all very nice, and and even moving. Except I can't understand a word he says. I mean, I quite like him. And he loves me to distraction, of course. Such a sad man. Every day something else befalls him. So everybody laughs and teases him and calls him million miseries. Just the other day.
That's him.
They're here. Look at my hands. What'll I
Arrived. Let's go and meet them at the door. I wonder if she even knows me after 5 years.
Oh, wait this minute, I know I will.
Do you remember this room, Mother? Oh, Yes. It's rather cold, I'm afraid. Your rooms, the white one and the blue one, are exactly as you left them.
Oh, look, the nursery. My dear and lovely room. I was a child here and I'm a child again. Oh, do you remember, brother? And you haven't changed at all, Varya. My little nun. Oh, Dunyasha.
2 hours late, that
It eats nuts.
Imagine.
It's been a long wait.
I haven't slept for 4 nights. It's so cold.
Oh, you left in winter and you come back in spring. It's not changed at all. My lovely. I'm done with waiting now, my lovely. Now, I've something to tell you. It can't wait.
I'm sure you have.
I've had a proposal.
Really?
From Jeppy Hoddoff. The clerk.
Dunyasha? Dunyasha. There's not a pin left.
I wish I knew what to do. Hirali is mad about me.
My room, my windows. Have I been away at all? And the orchard. The first place I'll go tomorrow. Oh. First I must sleep. I didn't sleep the whole journey. I've been so anxious.
Mr. Trofimov arrived 2 days ago.
Peter?
He's putting up in the wash house. He didn't want to put on anyone. I know he'd want me to wake him, but Miss Varya said I mustn't. Don't wake him.
Dunyasha, coffee. Quickly, girl. Mama's asking for coffee.
I'm going.
Thank God you're home. You're back home again. My most dear, most pure, most precious sister's back again.
Awful.
I know. Passion Sunday I left.
Thought I'd die of cold on the train. And Carlotta either gabbled or did card tricks all the way to Paris. Told you not to saddle me with her.
You're 17, child. You couldn't have travelled alone.
We arrive in Paris. It's snowing. My French is useless. Mother's living in a 5th floor apartment. And when I arrive, she has some French people visiting her. Some ladies. An old priest with a Bible under his arm. It was dingy and full of cigarette smoke. Just suddenly, I felt so sorry for her. I just suddenly took Maman's head in my hands and held on tight and couldn't let go. And Maman hugged me. Cried.
That's enough.
She'd sold the villa in the south before I arrived and was still penniless. And I only just made it to Paris, so I wasn't much help. But it made no difference. We ate in the most expensive restaurants, and she'd order the most expensive dishes and make the waiters rich men overnight with her tips. And Carlotta was just as bad. It was appalling. And Yasha! He's Mother's valet now, you know, so he had to come back.
Yes. I noticed him.
Well then, what about here? Have we paid the interest on the mortgage?
With what?
None of it.
They're putting the estate up for auction in August.
Dear Jesus.
Holy Mother of God, I could...
What about Leperkin? Has he asked you yet? Well, why don't you have it out with him? Isn't he supposed to love you?
There's nothing there. He's too busy with his business. He has no time for me. Barely notices I'm in the room.
I can't bear it any longer. There's great talk about the impending wedding, him and me. I'm congratulated all the time. But in reality, there's nothing. It's just a dream. Where did you get that? What is it, a bee?
My mum bought it for the journey home. Cost a fortune. Guess what? In Paris, I went up in a balloon.
Now you're home, precious one.
Coffee!
You know what I do as I go round the house doing my jobs? I dream. I dream that you were going to marry a rich man. I dream that then I could retreat from all this to some remote convent somewhere and only leave it to go on pilgrimages to holy places. Kiev, Moscow, on and on. Such peace it would bring.
The birds. Listen. In the garden. What time is it?
2:00. Time you're in bed, dear child. It would bring such peace.
Excuse me, mademoiselle. Is one permitted to pass this way?
My, haven't you changed though, Yasha? I barely recognised you.
I'm sorry, I don't think I've...
Dunyasha, when you went away, I was only this high. Fyodor Kozyedov's daughter. Didn't you remember?
Quite a cute...
What's going on?
I've broken a saucer.
Let's hope it bodes well. Pick it up, then.
We should warn Maman Peter Trofimov's here.
It's all right. He won't be wakened. I've given orders.
She must know, Varya. Think what might happen if he were to walk in on her unannounced. Father dying, Grisha drowning in the river, Mother abandoning us, fleeing to Paris. All that grief, all that guilt flooding back. Even now, 6 years later, she still won't believe she's forgiven whatever one tells her.
The mistress will have her coffee in here. Is it ready? Right? Cream.
Oh my God.
Witness, wench. Oh, they've arrived all the way back from Paris. The old master used to go to Paris. I remember that you once... he did. In a coach.
Who are you talking to, Fierce?
Oh, nearly 3, madam. And the mistress is home. The long wait's over. And now I can die.
Off into the corner. Double off the cushion.
Cut into the corner. We used to sleep in here as children, if I'm not... And now, odd as it may seem, I'm 51.
Tempus fugit.
What?
The time flies.
Stinks of patchouli in here.
I'm for bed. Good night, Maman.
Oh, sweet child. Are you glad to be home? I'm still a little dazed by it.
Uncle?
Oh, bless you. Just like your mother. You were just like her at her age, Luba.
Good night. Night. She's worn out.
The journey.
Well now, gentlemen, it's late. Time you were gone. You haven't changed a bit, Maria. I'll just drink my coffee, then we'll all go. Thank you, my dear. I've grown used to it, you know, coffee. I drink it all the time. Oh. Thank you, Fierce. Thank you, dear old man. I ought to check the luggage is all there. Is this really me sitting here? I can't believe it. I feel like dancing. I feel like dancing. If it's a dream, don't waken me. Because I love this place. I love it so much I couldn't see it from the train for tears. Coffee. Thank you, Fierce. Thank you, dear old man. It's good you still live.
Oh, not yesterday. The day before.
But, Deaf,
I have to catch a train to Kharkov in an hour. It's a pity. I wanted to have a good look at you. And the talk. You're as magnificent as ever.
And even more beautiful. A la mode, is it? I swear my heart's not stopped pounding like a racehorse since you arrived.
Your brother Leon here says that I'm a boor. A kulak, but that doesn't hurt me. He's welcome to his opinion. All I ask is that you trust me as before. Hold me in the same regard as before. My father was serf to yours, and to his father too, but you've done so much for me. You've helped me forget all that history and love you as my own sister. More, perhaps.
I can't sit still. Forgive me. Oh, this happiness is insufferable. Laugh if you like, I'm very silly. My own bookcase. Oh, my own table.
Nanny died while you were away.
Yes, I know. May she rest in God's arms. They wrote me.
Anastasia, too. And that boy, Peter, the one with the squint, handed in his notice. Joined the police force.
My daughter Dashinka sends her regards.
Well, let me cheer you up with this. There isn't time for a full discussion. I have to catch that train, but here it is in essence. The cherry orchard is down to be sold off by auction to pay off your debts. Now, this much you know. Now, the date of the auction has been set for August the 22nd. But you can go to your bed tonight and dream pleasant dreams because there's a way out. Now, listen. Your land is less than 20 miles from town and near the railway, right? If the orchard and the land by the river were to be parcelled up into plots and leased out for weekend cottages, you would have a per annum yield of 25 or even 30,000. Now, what about that?
Bloody nonsense.
I'm
Absolute
not sure
bloody-
I understand what you're saying, Mr.
How I get the yield figure? Ah, well, now, you can ask at least 10 rubles per year per acre plot. And if you put it on the market right away, you won't have a plot left by the autumn. You take the word of a man who knows. In fact, dear lady, you're to be congratulated. You're comprehensively saved. It's a fine location. Bathing to be had in the river. All you have to do is a bit of cleaning and tidying. All these outbuildings and things will have to go, of course. And this place, which is of only marginal value to anyone now, and the cherry orchard.
Cherry orchard what?
Well, 5 men could clear it in less than a week.
Cut it down. Forgive me, you appear not to understand. If there is one truly remarkable thing in this entire region, it is my cherry orchard.
Forgive me, Madame Renevsky, but the only remarkable thing about your cherry orchard is its dimensions. It's very large, but there's nothing at all remarkable in producing a crop every other year which nobody actually wants.
This orchard has an entry to itself in the Encyclopedia Ruskaya.
All right. But unless there's some pretty clear thinking and some sensible decisions forthcoming, both it and the estate will come under the auctioneer's hammer on the 22nd of August. You will have to make up your minds. But be assured, there is no other way out. None at all.
No, once upon a time they used to dry the cherries, preserve them in jars or turn them into jam. And
Shut up, please,
sometimes even they would send them, you see, in carts to Moscow and Kharkov. Or people wanted them then. Oh, I can still smell them, the dried cherries, soft and sweet. Oh, they knew how to do it then.
And now?
No one remembers.
How was the food in France then, eh? Did you eat frogs?
I had crocodiles.
Imagine.
The recipe for drying cherries is no longer the point, Madame Renevsky. Once there were just masters and serfs in these parts. Now there are holiday makers, weekenders. And in 20 years from now, there'll be masses of them around every town, even the smallest. As of now, they just drink tea in their verandas. But I see the day when these same people will take to planting out their little acre, growing things, and the orchard will live again, be alive again with growing things.
Bloody nonsense.
Got the telegrams that came for you, Mama. Here they are. Paris. I've forgotten Paris.
Do you know how old this bookcase is, Luba? The other day I was rummaging through this bottom drawer here and I noticed some figures burnt in the wood. 1803. 100 years ago, eh? Perhaps we should celebrate its centenary. True, it's inanimate, a thing, but it remains a bookcase.
100 years. Imagine.
Yes, that is truly something. My dear, honored bookcase, I salute your life. For 100 years you've borne witness to the noble ideals of goodness and of justice. For 100 years, your silent call to hard work has sounded in the ears of generation upon generation of this, our family, sustaining us in our moments of weakness, strengthening in us our belief in a better tomorrow, and implanting in us the moral idea of virtue and the moral ideal of social order.
Yes.
Plus ça change, plus c'est la même chose avec toi, Léon.
And off into the corner, cut into the middle.
Well, I have to go. I think it's time for your pills.
Sure, pills. Never take pills, dear lady. Never did anybody any good. Never did anybody any harm, come to that. Yeah. Oh! Say it.
You'll be ill.
No, one gulp. Nothing.
What guts the man must have, eh?
The honourable gentleman was here at Easter and ate a bucket full of pickled cucumbers.
What's he say? He's muttered for 3 years. We barely notice it now.
Senile.
Forgive me, Carlotta. I haven't had the opportunity to say how do you do yet.
First the hand, elbow next, and the shoulder.
Some days it's barely worth getting out of bed. All right, show us a trick then, dear lady.
Excellent idea, yes.
Sorry, too tired.
Oh. I'll be away for 3 weeks. Goodbye, madame. Time to go. I don't actually feel like going. Think about the summer cottage scheme, Now, you've only to let me know. I'm pretty sure I could raise 50,000 or so to set things in motion. Think hard,
Go, will you go?
Yeah, I'm going.
Perfect bore that man is. I do beg your pardon. Varya's going to marry him. He's Varya's intended, isn't he?
Thank you, Uncle.
Oh, no matter, Mary. I should be more than happy. He's a good man.
Fine man. Admirable fellow. Ooh, yes. My Darshenka says it all the time. My Darshenka says all sorts of things. While we're on the subject, dear lady, would you lend me 240 rubles? The interest on the mortgage is due tomorrow.
We haven't got it. There isn't any. I'm afraid that's true. I have nothing.
Not to worry. Never say die, that's the thing. There are times when I think everything's over. I'm done for. And then, hey, presto, there's a railway line. Oh, something across my land, and I get paid for it. Something will happen, you see. If not today, then tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if Dashenka won 200,000 rubles in the lottery. She's got a ticket, you know.
So much for coffee. Now I must sleep.
Put the wrong trousers on again. Oh, what's what to do with you?
Anya's sleeping. The sun's up. Can you feel it? Look, Mama. The trees, aren't they wonderful? You can smell them on the air. Can you hear the starlings?
How white the orchard, Luba. Do you remember? On and on the avenue of trees, unending, shining under the moon like a maiden's ribbon, armed and ready for the ball. Remember?
Childhood and innocence. Oh. My bed was here by the window. I could see the orchard from it. And out there, at least, nothing has changed. My orchard gleams as white, as pure as ever, untouched by autumn storms and winter's dead hand. Here you are again, and again, and again. Young, innocent, your own self. Some God watches over you. No past to weigh you down like a great stone.
How does it place in this orchard?
See, there's Mother walking in that grove in the white dress. It is her, see.
God is with you, Mother.
Where?
Does no one. I imagined it. See over there, on the right, by the path to the summer house. A little tree bent over somehow looks like a woman. How white and wonderful. The blossom against the blue sky.
Madame Ranevsky. I just wanted to pay my respects. I'll go. Forgive me, I was told to wait until the morning, but I still lack patience.
It's Peter Trofimov.
Peter Trofimov? Your son's tutor. Can I have changed so much?
Come, Lyuba, come.
I told you to wait until the morning.
Grisha. Little Grisha.
It was God's will, Mama.
I'm sorry.
Was it to
please.
drown a 6-year-old child? For what? Do you know why it happened, my friend?
Oh, no, shh. Hush. Anya's sleeping. We mustn't make a noise. Well, Peter, you look terrible. You've grown old.
Yes, a peasant woman in the train called me a gentleman. Gone to seed.
Then you were just a student, a pretty young boy, and now your hair's thin and you wear glasses. What do you do now?
I'm still a student. If the authorities have their way, I suspect I'll always be one.
Well, go to bed now. You've grown old too, Leon.
Oh, it seems to be time for bed. This gout. I'll stay the night here if that... And tomorrow morning, if you could let me have that 240 rubles.
There's no shaking that.
Most grateful. A mere 240 rubles. The interest on the...
My dear, I have no money.
Trifling sum. And of course you'll have it back.
Very well then, Leon will give you the money. Leon, give him the money.
Of course, I stand here with my pockets open. Come on, help yourself.
What else can I do? He needs it. He'll pay it back.
My sister can still throw money away, especially mine. Oh, do go away. You smell of chickens.
You, Mr. Leon, are just the same as ever.
What do you say? What did you say?
Your mother has come from the village. She's been sitting in the servants' quarters since yesterday, waiting for you to give her an audience.
God should have called her long ago.
Have you no shame?
None at all.
She could have come just as well tomorrow.
Mama hasn't changed at all. If it was left to her, she'd give everything we have away.
Here's what I think. The greater the number of cures you can suggest for a sickness, the more certain you can be it's incurable. Oh, I've been rattling my brains a good deal, and I've come up with a good many ways out. Oh, yes, lots and lots. So I'm pretty certain we've had it. Anyway, for instance, somebody could leave us some money. That'd be a good thing. Another fine thing would be if Anya were to marry an extremely rich man. And it wouldn't do any harm if one of us went to Yaroslavl to see our old aunt, the Countess, who, as we all know, is exceedingly rich.
If only God would see our plight and help us.
Don't whine, darling. Now, Aunt is exceedingly rich, but she happens not to like us. First, because my sister marries some lawyer fellow instead of a nobleman, so she marries beneath herself. And she hasn't behaved, well, how can I put it? She's not exactly lived the life of a saint. Oh, she's a dear, kind, impulsive woman. For whatever allowances one makes for her, she has been a trifle wanton, loose anyway. I mean, my God, it's there every time she raises an eyelash.
Anya's in the doorway.
Something in the eyelash, can't see a thing. So, Thursday, I was at district council.
You should be sleeping, Anya.
I tried, I can't.
Dear, dear girl, little girl, niece, angel, everything. Believe me, please believe me.
Of course I believe you, Uncle. Everyone loves and respects you, but you talk too much, Uncle. You should try to keep quiet. What made you say those things about my mother, your sister?
I know. It was awful of me. Oh, my God. That speech I made to the bookcase. So foolish. It wasn't until I'd finished I knew how foolish I was being.
It's true, your tongue wags and there you are. Just keep it still, that's all.
It'll make you happier.
I am quiet. Nothing. Oh, but there was one thing. I was talking with some friends at the district council on Thursday, and it does seem we'll be able to raise the loan against promissory notes and so on, so that we can pay the bank at least the interest on the.
May the good Lord help us.
Now, I'm going to see them on Tuesday, and I'll talk more about it. Oh, do stop whining, Varya. Then your mother's going to have a talk with Lopakhin. He'll not refuse her. And then, when you've had a rest, perhaps you'll go to Yaroslavl and see your great-aunt, the Countess. Then we can launch an attack on 3 fronts and click into the pocket. Oh, we'll pay the interest. I'm sure of it. Upon my word of honor. Upon anything you like, I swear this estate will not be sold. I hereby solemnly stake my happiness on it. I do hereby solemnly give you my hand to it. You may call me a worthless liar if I allow it to come under the hammer. And I do swear all this by everything I am.
You're a good and clever uncle. I feel calmer now. Calm and happy.
Leon, quiet! To bed. Have you lost all fear of the Almighty One?
I'm coming. Now, trot off, fierce. I can manage. I can undress myself. Well, children, time for beddy bye-byes. Further details can wait until tomorrow. Now, you must go to bed. Me, I'm an 80s man. Oh, Those ideas are not fashionable with most people nowadays. But I've endured much of my life in upholding my beliefs. It's not an accident I'm loved by the peasants hereabouts. You have to know your peasants. You have to understand.
Dad, Uncle, listen to
Mr. Guy!
Oh, shush, I'm coming. Go. Now go to bed. Off, 2 cushions into the middle. Pot, white.
I don't want to go to Yaroslav. I can't stand our great aunt the Countess. Still, I'm at peace here. Thank you, Uncle.
I must go to bed. No. Quite a nasty thing happened while you were away. Some of the old servants, Yefimyushka, Polya, Yevstine, and Karp, yes. They started letting vagrants stay in the empty servants' quarters. I didn't say anything at first. And then I heard the gossip that was going around about me, that I'd ordered them to be fed on dried peas and nothing else because I was mean, you see. And I heard that all this started with Yevstine, so I sent for him. Well, you silly old man, what's this that you've been putting around about me? And stand still when I'm talking to you. Anya? Sleep in your bed.
Hear the bells, warrior?
Anya. Sun. Spring.
I wonder how old I am. Without papers, there's no way of telling. I still think of myself as young, when my father and mother played affairs, and I used to do the death dive into a tub of water. Then they died. A German lady took me in and taught me things. And I grew up, became a governess. But I have no papers. I could be anybody from anywhere. I don't even know if my parents were married. I know nothing. If I could talk to someone about it, it would help. I know it would. But there's no one.
I have put the world behind me, the world of friend and foe. Is it not a thing of beauty, the mandolin?
It's a guitar.
To a man inflamed, it's a mandolin. If I had your had your hand to guide me, I would kiss your little toe.
Oh my God, they sing like goats, these people.
Admit it, though, you've been very fortunate to have been abroad.
If you like, yes, I agree with you.
I agree too. Abroad, they've been a century ahead for years.
The words right out of my mouth.
I'm a man of some learning, you know. Oh, yes. I've read a good many difficult books. Just can't seem to find my way forward. To be, or not to be, really. I should draw your attention here to my habit of always carrying a revolver on my person.
Right, that's me. I am off. Yappy Hodov, you're clearly a very clever man, and I'd wager an extremely dangerous one. Women must be forming lines to fall in love with you. Ah! Clever one. No one I can talk to. I live alone. I don't know who I am or why I am.
I will say this about that. In essence, and without wishing to burke the issues raised. By the way, I feel I should point out to you that life handles me ruthlessly, as a hurricane may treat a small boat. For instance, in case you should imagine that I am mistaken in the matter, explain to me, to take one instance from many, explain to me, if you can, why I should open my eyes this morning and find squatting on my chest a spider of terrifying dimensions like this, or suppose I go to pour a glass of cider. Why will the jug inevitably contain some monstrous thing, like a cockroach or worse? Have you read the English historian Buckle by any chance? Could I beg a brief word of you?
Go on.
Would it be in private, do you think?
I suppose so. I shall leave my cloak first, though. It's by the wardrobe. It's growing quite cold out here.
As you wish, madame. I think I know now what I should do with my revolver.
Treat this as a confidence, won't you? But that man is very stupid.
Please God he doesn't shoot himself. These days I'm nervy all the time. Worrying. Worked at the big house since I was a child. And my hands are as fair as any lady's. I don't know how to live ordinarily anymore. See? I've grown so soft and delicate that the least thing sets me off. Trembling. The least thing. Yasha, if you play me false, I'll break into tiny pieces. I know I will.
Little cucumber. Shh. The girl must know her station, of course. In my view, there's nothing less endearing than a girl who doesn't know how to behave well.
But I love you, Yasha. Terribly. You're so cultured. You can talk about anything.
Yes, I know. It's in my way, child. A girl who loves is a girl who sins. Isn't that so? Is there anything more luxurious than smoking a cigar outdoors? Christ, there's some kind of institution. Let's go back quickly. Here. Looks you've been swimming in the river or something. Not that way, that way. Hey, don't want them thinking I've been making assignations.
Oh, my head's really
There's no time
your
like the
cigar.
present. I need a decision time if you're in your train. It's a simple enough question. Will you agree to lease the land for weekend cottages or not? One simple word, yes or no.
Somebody's been smoking cigars, filthy things.
Over there, you see, Luba. The railway. Very convenient. We've been into town for lunch. Red into the middle, I think. So I'd like to go off now and have a quick frame.
Just one tiny word.
It's all gone. Yesterday it was full to here. Now, look at it. Poor Varia skimps and saves and feeds the servants on dried peas and milk soup. And here I am throwing it away on nothing. Now look, just look at me.
How about me?
Oh, thank you, Yasha. Oh, in God's name, why did we go out to lunch? Oh, that dismal restaurant of yours, Leon, with the aging trio in the corner. Tablecloth smelling of the laundry. Did we have to drink so much? And eat so much? And talk so much? Today, Leon, you talked everyone to the point of physical extinction. And about what? Trivia. Irrelevances. The 70s, for God's sake, the decadence. Fancy talking to the waiters about poets.
Wait.
I know I'm quite beyond redemption. What are you worming around at, eh?
Trying not to laugh at you.
It's him or me, Luba.
I'll tell you all.
At once, madame. Beautiful.
So, Jerry Ganov intends spending a fraction of his fortune on buying your estate. They say he'll attend the auction in person.
Who says so?
That's what they say in town.
We've got money promised from Yaroslava, our aunt. You know, when or how much, nobody knows.
Will she send, 100,000? 200,000? What do you think?
Well, let's see. If we're very lucky, it might be as much as 15,000.
Well, I'm trying not to give offence, but you two strike me as about the most feckless and reckless people I've ever met. You're told in words of one syllable that you're about to lose your land, and it seems to make no impression.
But what can we do about it? Do you have the answer?
I give you the answer every single day. There is only one answer. The orchard and the land down to the river must be leased out for summer cottages, and it must be done now. The auction is almost upon us now. Do you understand? And when you make that decision, then you'll get the credit you need and you'll be saved.
Summer cottages, weekenders. It's also bourgeois.
Absolutely.
Oh, do you know something? You people would make a saint lose his temper or bust into tears or something. And you're driving me mad, you old woman, you.
Old woman?
Woman! Old woman!
Oh, please, don't go. Oh, dear man, please. Perhaps we can think of something together.
I doubt it.
Please. I beg you. So much cheerier when you're with us. I'm terrified that something will happen. The house fall down round us, or worse.
Double into the middle, spot into the top.
How do you mean?
We've committed many sins.
You?
Sins, oh yes, they say I've sucked away a fortune in sweeties.
Oh, yes. A great one. I've thrown away money all my life, like someone mad. And I choose a husband whose only talent lay in the creation of debts. Oh, and drinking. He was a fairly active drunkard. He died eventually of a surfeit of champagne. What do? I fall in love with his double. While we're having our affair, I receive the first punishment like a bullet here. Here. My little son is drowned in the river. I went abroad. I swore I'd never look at this river again. I shut my eyes to all responsibilities. Grief makes one cruel, you know. And went away. He followed me, this second brutal man. Fell ill in Menton and forced me to buy a house there and nurse him. For 3 years, I slaved over him day and night. Until he wore me out. And my soul withered. A year ago, I sold the house to pay our debts and fled to Paris. There he robbed me and threw me over and took up with someone else. I tried poisoning myself. I couldn't bear the shame. My life seemed so futile. And then suddenly I longed to be back in Russia. With my little girl. Home again. Lord, forgive me my trespasses. And let the punishments come to an end. They come every day from Paris. He asks me back. And asks my forgiveness. Is that music I hear?
Perhaps it's our famous Jewish orchestra. Do you remember? 3 violins, a flute, double
Are they
bass.
still going? We should have them up to the house sometimes, have a ball or something.
Don't hear it. For a shilling the Croutons, the bear inside out until he can dance like a frog. Saw this excellent piece at the theatre yesterday. Very, very funny.
I'm sure it wasn't in the least funny. I believe people like you should examine their own lives instead of going to the theatre to observe other people's. Have you any idea how vapid your life is and how silly your attempts to explain it?
I suppose that's true, eh? Looked at rationally, life is pretty meaningless. Look at me and my father. He was a peasant, a clod, incapable of learning anything or handing anything on to me in the way of wisdom. The closest we ever got was when he'd come home drunk and beat me with a stick. So, am I any different? Certainly no less mindless than him. I've learned next to nothing. My handwriting's like a... well, I write like a pig. I'm ashamed to let it be seen.
You need a wife. Old friend.
Yes.
You should marry my Varia. She's a good girl.
Yes.
She comes from sturdy common stock, works the clock round, and loves you. You've been fond of her for some time, am I right?
I wouldn't say no, I suppose. She's a good girl.
I've been offered a position at a bank, 6,000 a year. Did I tell you?
What? You just sit here and...
Be so kind as to put this on, sir. You'll take a chill.
You're beginning to annoy me, my man.
Well, exactly. Off you go this morning and not a word to me.
You've grown old, Faith.
What can I get you, madam?
The mistress said you've grown old.
Well, it's all the years I've been alive. That's what it is. You tried to marry me off before your father was born. But by the time we got our freedom, I was already principal valet. So I refused it. The freedom. And stayed with the master and mistress. Oh, I remember the celebrations when our freedom came. Everybody was so happy. And nobody knowing what there was to be so glad about.
The good old days, when you could depend on things. Getting flogged, for example.
Precisely. The masters owned the serfs, and the serfs belonged to the masters. Now, it's all so messy, you can't make any sense of it.
Fierce! Shut up! I'm going into town tomorrow. I hear there's a certain general there who's prepared to advance me a loan on the strength of my signature.
I shouldn't bother. You couldn't even raise the interest on the loan you'll need.
He's daydreaming. There is no general.
Ah, where are the children?
There you are, my darlings. Oh, I love you both very much. Come here.
The everlasting undergraduate is never very far from the ladies.
So, what's it to you?
50 next birthday, still no degree.
You have the wit of a polar bear, Lepard.
Easy, boy, easy. Just joking.
Sit down.
Right, one question, then I'll leave you alone. What do you think of me?
Oh. Well, I think of you this way, Alex. You're rich already, and nothing will stop you getting richer.
Mm-hmm.
In the larger perspective, based upon the scientific laws of nature, I'd say you are necessary, in exactly the same way that a wild animal that must eat its prey is necessary.
You're better on astral bodies, Peter. No, I want to go on with yesterday's subject.
What was that?
Pride, wasn't it?
We talked about many subjects and agreed on none of them. All right. You people talk about the proud man, as though the concept were in some way importantly mystical. It's possible you're right, for yourselves anyway. But if we choose to look at it in basic terms and avoid sophisticated complications, we have to ask, what has man to be proud about? When most men on earth are physically underdeveloped, intellectually retarded, emotionally profoundly miserable, what right have we to be proud? It's time we stopped praising our species and got down to work. There's nothing else.
What does it matter what we do? We all die in the end.
Do it. What does it mean, to die? Suppose man to have 100 senses, and 5 of them, the 5 we know, are lost to us in death, while the rest live on.
What a clever thought, Peter.
Brilliant, Peter.
Man can make progress. Struggle for perfection. There is a discernible future in which we'll find solutions to the problems that confront us now, but we'll achieve it only through unremitting struggle. By working with all our strength to help those who even now are seeking the answers. Here now in Russia, very few are embarked on that course. The greater part of the intelligentsia seek nothing, do nothing, and appear congenitally incapable of work of any kind. They bask in the term intelligentsia and treat their servants like an inferior species. Peasants like beasts of burden. Their scholarship is banal. Their level of culture nil. Their grasp of science non-existent, and their feeling for art trivial and irrelevant. Oh, of course they can look as grave as anyone and talk about important matters and make metaphysical speculations with the best. While all around them, right beneath their eyes, the workers eat scraps of rancid meat and sleep on bare boards, 30 or 40 to a room. Bed bugs. Shit. Leaking roofs, moral degradation. And then it becomes obvious that all our philosophical salon chat has only one purpose, namely to distract ourselves and everyone else from the real issues. What happened to all those creches we talked about so far into the night, year after year? Those libraries, those workers' housing schemes. You'll find them in novels, they don't actually exist. What we have achieved is widespread misery, bourgeois vulgarity, and moral barbarism. I fear those grave faces we pull. These earnest discussions we endlessly embark on. Fear and despise them. We do better to hold our tongues.
I speak only for myself, but I'm up before 5 every morning. I work from morning till night. I handle a good deal of money, my own and others, so I get a chance to meet people and see what they're like. Only through working can one appreciate just how few honest and honourable people there are. There are nights when I lie awake, trying to make sense of it all, and I think, God, you have given us endless forests, endless fields, endless horizons. Why are we not giants in such a place as this?
Giants? Giants are for fairy tales. In life, they're too terrifying.
Exit the sun, my friend.
Exit the sun.
Nature. So glorious, burning with undying fires. So fair, yet so unfeeling. You, who we call mother, fusing in your core both life and death, making gifts of both indifferently.
Uncle, not again, Uncle, please.
Try the red into the middle.
I'm quiet.
What was it?
Don't know. It sounded like a cable snapping in a mine shaft a long way away.
Might have been a bird. Perhaps it was a heron.
Or an owl.
Something unpleasant.
It's happened before, just bore the misfortune. An owl hooted, and the samovar coughed.
Before what misfortune?
Before they set us free.
Time to go, my friends. It's almost night. You're crying. What is it, my love?
Nothing. It's nothing.
We have company.
Do you know if there's a way through to the station from here?
There is indeed. That road there.
Greatly beholden. Handsome weather. Handsome. Brothers! Starving and suffering comrades! Let us unite! Here by the river! Let them feel your suffering! Mademoiselle, starving ration asks you for 30 kopecks.
You do better lending a few manners.
Here. You. Here, take this. I've no silver. Here's a gold one.
Greatly beholden to you, I'm sure.
I'm going back. Mother, how could you? What am I to feed the servants on?
Would nothing to be done with a fool like me, I'll give you everything I have when I get back. Leparkin, give me some more money, please.
A pleasure.
Come along, we must go. Oh, by the way, Varya, I've just been arranging your wedding. My warmest congratulations.
Inside you find that so amusing, Mama.
Euphemia, get thee to a monastery.
See my hands itching for the cue.
Euphemia, sprite, remember me in your horizon.
Come along, we must go. It's no time for dinner.
The dreadful man. My heart's still pounding.
I trust nobody needs reminding that estate and orchard come under the auctioneer's hammer in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks, my friends. Try to think of it a little while you dine.
It was good of our travelling friend to scare dear Varya. It means we can be alone.
Varya's scared by most things. For days on end she's trailed us, scared we're suddenly going to fall in love. She can't get it into her narrow bourgeois head that we've no use for it, this falling in love.
We have one goal and one meaning for our lives. Throw off the shackles of the metaphysical and the second-hand and everything else that makes us unfree and unhappy. So forward, mes amis, meine Kameraden, we're on the march toward the brightest star in all history.
The one over there, see it?
So forward! No faltering now!
Bravo, monsieur! I love your words. I love them.
Isn't it wonderful here today?
Yes. Perfect weather.
You've done something to me, Peter. Something. Why do I care less about the cherry orchard than I used to? I loved it once. Like a person. Family. There was nothing dearer in the whole world than our orchard.
Because our orchard is all of Russia. This vast, amazing continent. Think of all the fine places there are in it. And think of something else, Anya. Your father's father and his were owners of serfs. They owned human lives, Anya. From every tree in your orchard, there are people hanging. They peer at you through the branches. You can hear their voices moaning in the leaves. Owning other human beings is what has destroyed your line, those that came before, those that live on, so that your mother, your uncle, you yourself still can't quite grasp that you're living and always have lived off the sweat and labour of someone else. Those same people you wouldn't allow across your back doorstep. Don't you see, Anya, we are still living 200 years back somewhere. We haven't understood our own history. Instead, we gravely talk, bewail our boredom, and drink ourselves stupid. When we can expiate the past, we can put a match to it for good and begin living in the present, but we can redeem ourselves only by struggle, only by hard and attritional effort. It's this you must understand, little one.
I shall leave the house. It has never been ours. I give you my word.
Throw the keys in the well. And go. Free as air.
Free as air. Yes.
And here's my word, Anya. Being a student and still relatively young hasn't protected me from hard times. Come winter, I'm forced to scrounge for food. I fall ill, and I'm never sure I'll see another spring. And yet, you have my word for it, don't you? There is not a moment passes when my spirit does not teem with the marvellous possibilities of this species. Oh, there is such joy to come, Anya. I see it.
See, Peter? The moon.
Anya! Anya!
Varya. Will she never stop?
Doesn't matter. Let's go to the river. It's good there.
Yes.
Too much blood, that's my trouble. I've had a couple of strokes already. Makes dancing hard for me. Still, you know what they say. If you run with the pack, you've got to waggle your tail whether you've teeth left or not. Actually, I'm as strong as a horse. My dear departed father always claimed the Piszczyks were direct descendants of the very horse the Emperor Caligula installed in the Roman city. Father always loved a joke. Listen. Trouble is, I've no money. And a hungry horse can only think of food. Me too. Only with me it's money.
You know, Simon, there is something of the horse about you. Ah, it's Madame Lepas.
Ah, the gentleman gone to seed.
Gone to seed and proud of them.
Now we have an orchestra. Pity nobody thought about paying for it.
You know, if all the energy we directed towards finding the money and paying for it had been put to some other end, I could have remade the universe by now.
You know, Nietzsche says, the philosopher, you know, great man, very famous, first-class intellect. You know, he says somewhere, one has the right to forge banknotes.
You've read Nietzsche, then?
No, not exactly. Dashinka told me all about it. But at present I'm in such a mess, I may be forced to follow his advice, I can tell you. I've got to find 310 rubles for the day after tomorrow. And so far I've only managed a mere 130. Ah, my God! I've lost it. It's not here. I've lost the money. Lost the money. Ah! It's here inside the line. Oh, look at me. I'm sweaty.
Where's Leon? What's keeping him anyway? Tea for your musicians. Dunyasha, tea!
Possible the auction didn't even get off the ground.
It's also inappropriate. Hiring musicians, giving a ball. Oh,
Here. Now, think of a count.
Done, I thought.
Right, shuffle. Sehr good. Now, hand her to me, sweet Piszczyk. 1, 2, 3, and look in your top pocket there.
Oh. Ah! would you believe it? The Ace of Spades.
Top card, name her quick.
Queen of Spades.
Perfect.
Oh,
And you, go.
Ace of Hearts.
Beautiful weather we're having. Madam, you're a very charming girl, you know. And I have the highest regard for you, madam.
Never seen anything like it. Mother Calabi, you're ravishing. I could eat you.
Really, you wouldn't know where to begin. Because enough men but a lousy musician.
Never mind, old horse.
Attention, please. One more. This very fine rug for sale. What am I offered now, huh? Who will start the bidding?
Did you ever see anything like it?
Eins, zwei, drei! Eins, zwei, drei!
What about this then, eh? The little vixen. Let me at her.
Still no sign of Leo. I can't imagine what he's found to do in town to keep him there so long. Either the estate's been sold or it hasn't. Why keep us in ignorance?
Uncle will have bought it.
Oh, of course.
Great Aunt has authorised Uncle to buy the estate and transfer the debt. She's doing it for Anya. And I'm sure God wouldn't have it otherwise. Uncle will have bought it.
Our good great aunt in Yaroslavl has sent 15,000 rubles. Not even enough to cover the interest, let alone purchase the estate in her or anybody else's name.
It's my life they're handing down there. It's my life.
Madam, that Parkin, everlasting undergraduate. Whoever heard of being expelled twice?
Oh, stop spitting, Varya. So he teases you about Leparkin. Why should it matter? If you like Leparkin, marry him. He's a good man, not without interest. If you don't. Nobody's forcing you, child.
I know that, Mother. It's just not something I can joke about. He is a good man. And I do have feelings for him.
Well, then marry him. I don't understand what you're waiting for.
I can't do it on my own, can I, Mother? For 2 years it's been in the air. Everybody's talked about it, but he says nothing. Or just jokes. I can see why he's too busy. Building, getting rich. He has no time for me. If I had any money at all, I'd leave it all. Everything and everyone. I'd find a convent at the other end of the country.
And such peace you'd find there.
Our undergraduate has to have his wit, doesn't he? You've grown so ugly, Peter. So old. I must be working, Mother. I must be doing things.
Yeppy Hodov has broken a billiard cue.
Why is Yeppy Hodov even here? And who gave him permission to play billiards? I don't understand these people.
Don't tease her, Peter. She's unhappy enough as it is without that.
Oh, she's so officious, Leo. She interferes in everything. She's plagued Anya and me all summer long, looking to nip some hypothetical romance in the bud. It's none of her business, besides which it's bloody insulting. I'm above that sort of crass sentimentalism. We're both above it, as a matter of fact.
Meaning I'm below it, I suppose.
Where's Leon?
All I want to know is, have I been sold or not? I suppose all disasters are incomprehensible. I feel like I seem lost somehow. I feel like screaming or doing something even more banal and stupid. Help me. Say something.
Leo, it doesn't matter. Sold or not sold, it has no meaning now. That's all in the past, forgotten long ago. The fields have reclaimed the thin road you travelled. Be easy now. Eschew self-deception. For perhaps the first time in your life, you're allowed to stare truth frankly in the face.
Truth? What's that? Perhaps you can see it, your eyes are young. I look and I see nothing. Such confidence you have, Peter. Is there a problem in the world you can't solve? Just think about it, Isn't it only that the problems you solve have never really touched you or hurt you? When you look so bravely to the future, isn't it only that you haven't had the experience to make you fearful? You're braver and deeper and honester than any of us here. But you lack generosity. You lack consideration. Just think a little about us, just a little. I was born here, and my father and his father before him. I love it, this place. This house. This orchard. Without them, my life has no meaning. I'd rather be sold with them than left without them. It's where my son was drowned. Here. So show us some pity. Dear loving friend.
I sympathize deeply, you know that.
Then why don't you say it differently? Differently! Have you any idea how things like this drag one down? Like millstones. Listen to them. They make noise and know nothing, and every sound they make puts a drill to my soul. Look at me, I'm trembling, but I can't go to my room because the silence frightens me more. So don't judge me, Peter, all right? Marry Anya, if you will. You have my blessing. Only you must get down to your studies and graduate. What do you actually do? Nothing. Life drives you along like the rest of us. Isn't that odd, N'est-ce pas, chérie? You must do something about this beard. So piffling. What a funny boy you are.
I have no wish to be a beau, Madame Renevsky.
It's from Paris. They come every day. That Farouche man is ill again. He's up against it again. He asks my forgiveness and wants me to go back to Paris, and I think I should go to be with him for a while. Now, don't frown, Peter. What else can I do? What else is there? He's on his own, sick and miserable. Who'll look after him? Who'll wash his face and hands, keep him sane, give him his pills if I don't? I love him. Without fear, without shame. Love him. Isn't it obvious? He's like a great stone round my neck. And he'll drag me to the bottom with him. But it's a stone I love and I can't do without. Now don't talk, don't just judge me, Peter, don't say anything.
By God, I will, though, and you'll have to forgive my candour, but that man has robbed you over and over. That man is a pig. Everyone knows it, save you. A scoundrel, a bloody
You're
nothing.
27 years of age, for God's sake, Act.
What's my age got to do with it?
Because you're not a man, that's why. A man should be capable of understanding love. A man needs it. Not to love isn't purity, it's weakness, it's fear, it's prudish, ridiculous and abnormal.
What are you saying?
I'm above love. You're not above it at all, you're just not up to it. Why else would you be without a mistress at 27?
Are you really saying this to me? Excuse me, will you?
Oh, Peter.
No, I
Please
prefer not
wait.
to hear the rest if you don't mind.
Peter, I was joking. It was a joke, darling.
What a pity then our relationship could not have ended on a better one.
Oh! What is it? What happened? Peter's fallen down the stairs.
So he had the last laugh after all.
A recitation entitled The Sinner by Alexei Tolstoy. The eponymous heroine is one Dench Vakova, a young lady of good family, whom fateful circumstance and compulsive desire conspired to turn into a fallen woman of doubtful virtue. The sinner. She stands alone in darkened room and softly calls his name. But no one hears.
Oh, dear boy, please forgive me. Say you will. We should dance.
How are you, young whippersnapper?
Not good. I've seen the day we had generals, admirals, barons dancing. Now we send for post office clerks and station masters. Even they have to be coaxed. I seem to have lost my strength somehow. The old master used to give us sealing wax for everything, whatever it was. I've taken sealing wax every day for 20 years now. I think it's that that's kept me going.
I'm glad you're a bore. You're ready for knackers, you are.
You but I'm bored.
Merci, mon beau. Oh, I must rest. I'm tired.
The man in the kitchen says the orchard's been sold.
To whom?
He didn't say. He's gone now. We should dance.
Kitchen gossip. Some old man passing the time of day.
Master Leon still not back. He's gone off and finished the top coats as though it was spring. He'll take a chill. These green young men.
I can't believe Yasha found out who bought it.
The old man left hours ago.
You think this is funny? This pleases you, all this, does it?
It's that Yeppy Hoddoff. He's such a clown. Million miseries, they call him.
What about you, Fears? Where will you go if the estate's sold?
Whatever you order, man.
Are you ill? You ought to be in bed if you're not well.
Oh, who's going to serve you all and keep things going? There's only me for the whole house.
Madame Lieva, may I ask a favour? Should you return to Paris, may I have the honour of going with you? It's quite impossible I should be asked to stay here. I'm sure you take my meaning. The lack of culture, the low level of moral refinement, the boredom, the food, and fears here stumbling around muttering his nonsense. I beg of you, man, take me with you.
Ah, beautiful lady, permit me one tiny waltz. You are irresistible. And now, sweetest madam, could I interest you in a small loan? I find myself temporarily deficient of a trifling 180 roubles.
Ah, what devotion.
It's a young mistress. She ordered me to. And there are men galore, and hardly any of us. My brain's whirling, my heart's pounding and pounding. That clerk, you know, the one from the post office, he whispered things in my ear that almost made me swoon. It's true.
Like what?
He said, you're like a flower.
Probably never seen one.
Like a flower. I have this delicate nature, you see. A A delicate phrase can make me quiver with pleasure.
Don't quiver too much. You might break your stem.
At least look at me. Turn away from me as if I was an earwig or something. This is no life.
You wanted something.
All right. You may not be wrong. Naturally, if you insist on looking at things from your own point of view. Pardon me for putting it this way. And with such forcefulness, but it becomes clear at once that it is you who have brought me to this state. I know what my life is like. Every day I befall some new misery, but I simply smile at it all once in a while. But you did give me your word, Dunyasha, in
Do you think we
spite
could
of
discuss this later? I'd rather you left me in peace just now. Having something of a dream just now, you see.
Every day I befall some new misery, but forgive me for saying it. I simply smile at it all. Sometimes I even laugh.
Haven't you gone yet? You haven't an ounce of respect in your whole body, have you? First you wrecked the billiard room. Now you're wandering in the drawing room like one of the guests.
You have no right to reprimand me. Now let me make that quite clear.
I'm not reprimanding you. I'm merely telling you that you spend all your time wandering from one room to the other, never lifting a finger, that's all. As a rule, clerks are expected to work. Why else would one keep one?
Whether I work, walk, stand, sit or play billiards, those who stand in judgment of me would need to be considerably older and more sapient than you, mademoiselle.
Don't talk to me that way. You dare to suggest that I don't know what I'm talking about. Get out, go on. Get out, now. At once, do you hear?
Please, I beg you, if you could just mollify your language.
Out this instant! You million miseries! I don't want to see you in here again, is that understood?
Take me while on this matter in due course.
Are you going or aren't you?
Very kind of you. No, but worse welcomes in my time. On the whole, one of the better ones.
Thanking me, Max. Did I hurt you?
Not at all, no. Ooh.
He's here! The man himself! Just the slightest hint of cognac on the breath, my dear fellow. Never mind, we've been having fun here, too.
What kept you so long, Alex? Where's Leon?
Leon's here. He came back with me.
Well, in the auction. What happened? Tell me everything.
Well, the auction finished at 4, but we missed the train and had to wait till 9 o'clock for the next one. It's made me a little late in the head.
What happened there? Oh, will somebody tell me what happened and hurry up about it?
Here, take these. There's an inch of his. Herrings and kirsch. I haven't eaten a thing all day. That's it. What I've endured today.
1870-25.
I'm tired. Please, Fizz, help me to get changed.
Oh, tell us what happened to the auction, man.
Was it sold?
Yes.
To whom?
Me. If you be so kind, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, thank you. I'm sorry, you'll have to excuse me, my head's still whirling from it all, eh? All right then, we get to the auction. Jerry Gannell's already in position. Right off, he tops Mr. Guyev's 15,000 with a straight bid of 30 on top of the arrears. So there it was. I took him on. 40,000. He bid 45. 55. He bid 60. I'm bidding in tens. He's hitting me with fives. Fine. We reached 90,000 rubles and he's out. Withdraws. I have it. It's mine. The cherry orchard is mine. Oh, tell me I'm drunk. Tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I'm imagining every last bit of it. But don't laugh too soon, friends. Don't ever laugh at me again. Oh, musicians! Where are you? Let's have some music then, eh? Oh, where are you, father? Grandfather, get up from your graves and see me now. The one you kicked and starved and sent around half naked in the snow. It's me, the man himself. And I've just bought this estate. And you won't find a finer anywhere else in the world. I've just bought the estate that you were both serfs on, where you weren't even allowed inside their kitchens. Hey, can you hear me? Hey, do you think I'm dreaming it? Imagining it, all these ignorant yearnings, is that it? Hey? She threw away the keys to show that her reign is ended. Oh, musicians! Oh, now, where are you, musicians? Let's have you! Let's have a Lushinka, please, for the people who've come to see how the dull and lowly Lepakin will take his axe to the cherry orchard and send the trees whistling to the ground. And summer cottages we'll build in their stead, and our children's children will hear the distant music of a new life blossoming around them. Music! There must be music! Why didn't you hear me? There's no way back, friend. Why do I have to be the cause of your pain? Why can't we somehow rebuild these awkward, crumbling lives?
Now, let's leave her to her sadness. Come.
What's this then? I said music. Play! If I want music, let there be music. This is the new master speaking. The owner of the cherry orchard. Oh, leave it. Leave it. Leave it. I can pay. Can pay.
Precious mother, I love you. Please, here, don't cry, please. It's coming out, it's all right. But you're alive and good and pure and holy and life to live. Come with me. Come, go away from here. Build new things, better, finer than these, and then you'll see how right all this has been. And fulfillment will smile on your face like evening sunlight, and you'll breathe again, mother, I promise. Promise.
Army of you, to all the future. Pause no more now the day is dying.
The rural idiots come to say goodbye. If you want my opinion, it is that the common folk have big hearts but tiny brains.
I couldn't help it, all right?
Much.
It couldn't be helped.
A glass of champagne, friends. Will you join me in a farewell glass, please? A beg of you. I didn't think to bring you any from town. I could only find one bottle at the station. Still, we could have a glass together. Seems I didn't need to buy any. Fine, I'll abstain with you. Have a glass yourself, Yasha.
To those who journey, to those who see them off. Not the real thing, I'm afraid. Pity that.
8 rubles a bottle, anyway. God, it's bloody cold in here today.
No one bothered with stoves today. Not that it matters, since we're going.
Something funny?
Just happy.
Oh, look at it. October and as smooth as summer out there. Building weather. The train leaves in 46 minutes precisely, ladies and gentlemen, so we should leave in 20 minutes, I think. Please, hurry.
You know, I think it's time we were off. Carriage has arrived. God knows where my overshoes have got to. Thin air. Anya, have you seen my overshoes? I can't find them anywhere.
And I'm off to Kharkov. Take the same train. Spend the winter there. Spent too long sitting around here chattering. I need to be doing. I'm useless when I'm not working. Don't know what to do with my hands. Look at them. They just hang there like someone else's.
Well, we'll be gone soon. You'll be able to get back to your valuable labours again.
Fancy a small one. So you're off to Moscow then, eh?
Uh-huh. I go as far as town with them, and then tomorrow I go to Moscow.
No doubt the university's delaying the start of the session until you get there.
I can't see why that should concern you.
How many years is it now you've been a student?
That's the best you can do. You've worn it smooth. By the way, it's unlikely we'll meet again, so let me give you a piece of advice by way of farewell. Try not waving your arms about. It's a bad habit, arm waving. And this talk about building summer cottages. All these visionary predictions that one day their tenants will become their owners. That's all a kind of arm waving too. I say all this because when all said there can be, I like you. You have the hands of a painter. Slender and full of grace. And a gentle, generous soul.
Goodbye, then. Little dove. And thank you. What about money? Let me give you some for the journey.
What for? I've no need of it.
You haven't a penny?
Yes, I have. I got some for translation. It's here. Overshoes are a different matter entirely.
Take the filthy things.
Ah, such shy and gentle charms. These aren't mine.
I just put out 1,000 acres of poppy last spring and I made 40,000 profit. Now that is a sight to behold, I can tell you. A poppy field in bloom. Anyway, the point is I made the 40,000. So if you want a loan, because I'm flush, there's no need to be proud about it. You're dealing with a peasant, son of a peasant, just that.
And you're dealing with the son of a chemist's assistant, which means nothing either. Leave it. Let it be. You could offer me 200,000 and I still wouldn't want it. I'm free of all that. All the things you all cherish and crave after are for me no more than flocculence, shimmering on the air. And because I have the will and the pride, I can go on without you. Transcend you, if you like. Men are on the move toward the higher truths, the greater happiness. And I count myself an outrider for the expedition.
Will you get there?
Yes. Get there or show others the route.
Yeah. Take care, little dove. Time for us to go. It seems to me we're both pretty good at striking poses. But life couldn't give a damn and carries on course regardless. When I've been out working for days on end without rest, the pleasure it gives me half persuades me that I know why I'm alive. But Russia is overflowing with people who see no purpose at all to their existence. Maybe that's not the point either. They say Mr. Gaev is to take up his position at the bank. 6,000 a year, they say. Won't hang on to it, I shouldn't wonder. It's too idle.
Mother says we do not let them cut down the orchard until we've gone.
Tact, Lopakhin. Where's your tact?
Of course, of course. My God, these workmen.
Have they taken Fierce to hospital?
I left instructions for this morning. I'm sure he's gone.
Simon Yepihodov, please make sure Fierce has been taken to the hospital.
Yegov was told to do it this morning. Why go on about it?
In my definitive opinion, the ancient Fears is beyond medicine and should make ready to meet his ancestors. For my part, I can't but envy him.
$999,999.
Has Fierce been taken to the hospital?
Yes.
And why is the letter for the doctor still here?
I don't know. I'll send someone after them with it.
Yasha, please look at me. You're going, aren't you? You're deserting me, aren't you? Aren't you?
No need for tears, girl. In under a week, I'll be back home in Paris. Tomorrow, I'll join the Pullman, and Sam will shoot across Europe like a bullet. Isn't it incredible? Da 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 da. This is no place for me. There's no life here. Nothing happens here. I'm full up to here of backwardness and mediocrity. Up to here. Oh, for God's sake, don't cry, girl. Behave yourself. There'll be no need for tears.
You'll write to me from Paris, won't you? You know how I've loved you, Yasha. I've been good to you, Yasha. You know how soft I've been.
Someone coming.
We really must get going. We're going to be late. Who's smelling of herring in here?
10 minutes. Then we'll leave. Goodbye, Hobbs. Old grandfather. Winter, spring, and you'll be gone too. They'll have pulled you down. You've seen it all old walls, haven't you? Mon petit trésor. How brilliantly you glow. You have diamonds in your eyes. You're happy, aren't you? Are you?
Yes, Maman. It's like being born again.
Absolutely. Everything's as it should be now. How depressed we all were before the orchard went. What we all endured. But it's all over and done with, irreversible. Everyone's calm, cheerful again. I hold a position at the bank. Financier, you might say. Red into the middle. Tsar. You look so much better too, Lyuba, all in all. No doubt about it.
Yes, it's true. I'm calmer. And sleeping again at night. Yasha, my things, it's time. We'll be together soon again, my baby. I'll live in Paris for a while on the money our great-aunt sent to buy the estate. God bless Yaroslav, but it won't last forever.
Come back soon. You will, won't you? I'll work hard and pass all my exams, and then I'll be ready to work for you. We'll devour whole libraries together, you and me, on autumn evenings, won't we? We'll learn new things for this new life.
I'll be back. Golden one.
Carlotta's happy too. She's singing.
Bye-bye, my baby. Sweet little boy, there. Yes. Not fair, is it, my darling? I shall need a new post. I can't survive without one.
Well, I'll find something for you, Carlotta. No need to worry yourself.
Everybody's abandoning us. Varia. No one seems to want us anymore.
There's nowhere for me in town. I shall have to leave the area. I don't really care.
Oh my God, it's the eighth wonder of the world.
Oh, let me get my breath. Oh, I'm done for. Oh, dear friends, water.
Water first, and then alone, I suppose. Forgive me, I must go.
Ah, dear lady, so long since I've seen you. And you, glad to see you, man of the highest discernment. Here, this is for you. 400 rubles. That leaves 840 still unaccounted for.
Am I dreaming this? Where did it come from?
More, please. One minute. Something quite extraordinary. Some English folk call it my place, and discovered a kind of white clay on my land. 400 for you, too, my marvelous madam. The rest later. This fellow on the train that I was talking to just now says that some great philosopher or other strongly urges people to jump off roofs. Jump off roofs, he says, and your worries are over. What about that, then? Mold, please.
He's English.
Ah, yes. I gave a 24-year lease on the land where the clay was. Now, you'll kindly excuse me. I've got to trot along. Go and see Neukhoff and Karamanov. Pay my debt. Good health to everyone here. I'll probably drop round about Thursday.
We're just about to move into town. Tomorrow I'll be en route for France.
Town? No matter. Can't be helped. These English men of the highest discernment, you know. Never mind. Everything you wish yourself, and God go with you. Nothing lives without it dies. So, when you hear that they've put me under, think of the old horse and say, I used to know that creature. Fishy he was called. God be with him. Isn't it splendid weather? Yes. Dashing descends of garden.
Now we can go. Two things bother me. Fiers is ill, and perhaps a couple more minutes.
Mother, Fiers has been taken to the hospital. Yasha saw to her this morning.
Varia. Rising early and working late is her life. Without it, she'll be like a fish in the sand. She's grown so thin and worn and tearful, poor Varia. You know, Alex, I always thought of giving her to you, and the signs were that you would take her. She loves you, you know. And you're not unfond of her, am I right? Why do you keep so separate? It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, you're right. It is
Very confusing. Well, if there's still time, why not settle it now? Get it over with. Once you've gone, I'll never do it.
It's a wonderful idea. It won't take a minute. I'll call her.
There's even champagne to mark the occasion. Well, there was. You could drink it with a bucket, couldn't you?
No matter, we'll leave you alone. Yasha, allez!
Varya? Varya, come here a minute, will you? I'm just looking. No, quickly, child. Leave that. Quickly, child.
That's odd. I just can't seem to see it.
What's that?
I packed it this morning. Where is it?
So where'd you go now, Varya?
What? Oh, to the Regulins. I said I'd help out there for a while. Sort of housekeeper, I suppose.
That's Yashinevo, isn't it? What's that, 50 miles, is it? So it's all over here.
It must be here somewhere, unless I put it with the trunk. Yes, that's right. There's nothing else here now.
And I'm away to Kharkov directly. Take the next train. Plenty to do there. I'll leave Yippee Hodov here. I've taken him on, you know.
Have you?
This time last year we had snow, remember? Just look at that sun. Still cold enough. Frost in the grass there.
Is there? I haven't looked. Our thermometer's broken as it happens.
Yeah? I'm here.
Well? We must go.
Yes, I know. I should make the Regulins by this evening if I don't miss the train.
Anya, get your things on. Good. Let the journey commence. Ready, ready.
My friends, dear loving friends, now on the brink of departing this house forever, no one will insist that I keep silent. How can I not express to you as I bid you farewell the emotions that well up in my heart and swamp me with...
Uncle! No, Uncle, please.
Double into the middle. No.
All aboard, ladies and gentlemen, time to go.
Yippee Hodov, coat.
One minute, just 1 minute.
I feel as if I'm seeing this Romney's house for the first time. Those walls, this ceiling, all new. I'm suddenly filled with a terrible greed for them.
I remember when I was 6 years old. I sat on this windowsill one feast day and watched my father stride out of church.
Is that it then?
Yes, I think so. You're in charge while I'm gone, all right?
Never fear, it's in good hands.
What are you whispering for?
Oh, I drank some water a moment ago. I think I must have swallowed something. Clown.
You leave it empty then.
Till spring, yeah?
There's no need for that. You won't get out.
Let's go then into the carriage now or we miss the train.
Peter, your overshoes. Look at them. They're falling apart.
Last call for the carriage.
Station, train, spot into the middle, double the white into the bottom.
We're going.
All out. Nobody left behind. I've stored some things in there. Best keep it locked, all right?
Bye, old house. Bye, old life.
Big hello to tomorrow!
Till spring, then. Au revoir. Is that how they say it?
Sister.
Orchard. Life. Youth. Happiness. We must say goodbye. Look. Those walls, those windows. Mother loved this room.
Sister.
Coming!
Locked. They've gone. They forgot me. Never mind. Oh. Sit down here for a minute. I don't imagine for a minute that he's put on his fur coat. He'll be wearing his thin one. Oh, if I'm not here to see to things. These green young laddies. It's gone. It's gone. As if I'd never lived it. I'll maybe lie down in a wee while. You've no strength left in you, have you? You've nothing left. Nothing. You silly old nothing. Silly old nothing. It's silly old.